तो वो मुझे बहुत, जैसे अपने को धक्का लगाना पड़ता है, बोलने का मन नहीं करता। थोड़ी देर प्राणायाम किया और सीधे बैठ जाओ शांत, वो ज्यादा आसान लगता है। ये
बट
जो,
शांत अगर बैठा, अगर
जी
आसन हो रहा है तो ठीक है।
जी,
बट इफ यू आर फॉलिंग asleep,
हम्म,
हमारा कॉन्शियसनेस चले जा रहा है, माने वी आर बिकमिंग अनकॉन्शियसली एंड ड्राउजी,
जी,
फिर दैट इज नॉट कॉल्ड मेडिटेशन।
हाँ, वो बात ठीक है।
बट
जी,
अगर आप शांति में बैठा और थॉट्स भी नहीं आ रहा है एंड यू आर एट पीस, इट्स ओके।
अच्छा, राइट,
द प्रोसीजर explained by Master K is to eradicate those thoughts. माने mind, because it is always germinating a thought. To eradicate it, we give it one thought which is both conducive to the mind and soul, which is Om and so on.
ठीक, हाँ, तब तब अच्छा लगता है जी, जब
क्योंकि
बिल्कुल।
रावण महर्षि का मेथड में sit silently, nothing else.
जी,
He says just sit silently. What to do? Sit silently.
हम्म,
Know who
तो
you are. That's all.
वो भी बहुत मुश्किल है। वो भी बहुत मुश्किल, वो ज्यादा ही मुश्किल है।
Yes.
जी,
And Om जब उच्चारण कर रहा है, the reason for that is when we are sitting silently, there is a possibility, and maximum possibility is we go blank rather than we enter into state of who we are. But when you are uttering Om and listening Om and then observing from where this Om is coming, there is a high possibility that you will enter the location of where that I is. Because you're observing something there, which is a germinating place of everything. It's like instead of seeing into black space, dark space where we don't know where to look, we have sun to focus upon. Even sun comes from the black space of the universe, but observing the sun helps us have a fixed direction to go inward. That is a methodology that EK has given.
जी,
और
बाकी तो कुछ अच्छे से नहीं हुआ।
पढ़ाई।
पढ़ाई नहीं हो रही है, बस बीच बीच में मैं स्वामी सर्वप्रियानंदा को सुन लेती हूँ, बस उतना ही।
हाँ,
उतना ही।
वेरी गुड।
तो वही है कि मैं 2 महीने तक मैं गाजियाबाद में थी, फिर उसके बाद इधर आए तो इधर का भी घर अपसेट है, उधर का भी थोड़ा नोमैडिक टाइप का हो रहा है। तो आके यहाँ पे पूरा सेट होने में भी टाइम लग जाता है।
टाइम लगा। ट्रू। सेटलिंग थिंग्स। एंड अर्चित, how is his? He still
अर्जित
has
का
to join.
अच्छा चल रहा है, मेरे ख्याल से वो अच्छे डिसिप्लिन में है। अर्जित का बहुत अच्छा
Nice.
चल रहा है, देख के बहुत अच्छा लगता है। मतलब आजकल की जनरेशन में इतना सब ये स्पिरिचुअल इंक्लिनेशन होना ही बहुत बड़ी बात है। मैं तो अपने आसपास किसी को नहीं देख रही हूँ, टचवुड, सिर्फ अर्जित है जिसका ध्यान है इस
And the moment Archit, uh, you'll see that we three came together to discuss something. So our inclination is what brings people together from different places of the world. हम सोचते कि how to connect, and connections होता है. That's how the plans are.
आई थिंक जिस चीज के लिए हमने कनेक्ट किया था तेजस्वी, उसमें तो वी डिड नथिंग। बट उसके
इस चीज
बाद
के
से
लिए मैंने, वो चीज हमारा दिमाग में है, यूनिवर्स के
करेक्ट
दिमाग
करेक्ट
में नहीं
नॉट,
है।
या अकॉर्डिंग टू अस
धीरे
जिस चीज के लिए कनेक्ट किया था।
धीरे धीरे हो जाएगा। अजित तुम बिल्कुल सही रास्ते पे जा रहे हो, एफर्ट कर
how,
रहे हो, ये बड़ी बात है।
how is job life and personal life, Arjit? All are okay?
ऑल गुड तेजस्वी,
All
सब बढ़िया।
good. Very nice.
पर्सनल में तो बहुत अच्छा है अभी कि ये पेट लेके आए हैं अभी।
Last to last week he went to that Missouri trip, no?
जी, ट्रिप तो 2 कर ली।
Yeah. How was it? How was the nature?
नेचर मसूरी तो तेजस्वी, यू वर राइट ओनली, इट वाज वेरी कमर्शियल, कुछ खास नहीं था। बट देन उसके पास में वी वेंट टू लैंडोर।
Ah,
लैंडोर वाज वेरी नाइस, बट वी जस्ट स्टेड फॉर अ, we did not stay for the night, but we went there for a day trip. वो काफी
nice.
अच्छा था।
वही ठहरना चाहिए था।
I want
हाँ
to
वही।
stay in Dehradun and then visit these places, as and when I have time, and stay there for longer time. I don't
Yeah,
like this 1-2 day visits. Nothing we can say except tourist spots.
करेक्ट करेक्ट,
I,
बट अभी
I
तो
would,
करंट जो लाइफस्टाइल है, जो जॉब रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज हैं
see, that's the
उसमें,
irony, when you have energy, you don't have time. When you
या
have time, you don't have energy and health.
करेक्ट करेक्ट, उसके लिए किया जाएगा, कुछ जल्दी किया जाएगा।
Uh, you need to earn in
अभी
1 year as much as you can earn for 20 more years, then you can do anything you desire.
वो तो
And
वेरी
I,
वेरी रेयर।
yeah, even those big shot people who earn so much, still they keep earning. I don't know why. Why don't they stop and then enjoy life?
फूल एडिक्शन जैसा हो जाता है शायद।
No, basically,
क्या
nature
करेंगे
makes
इसको?
us work as her slaves with the lucrative idea in the head. We are slaves to the nature. Master DK says many people think they are working for money, they are earning profits, they are ruling the world, everything. But it's finally nature that is making them work because it is its work we are doing. Let's say if we look, we have transformed matter into buildings. We have transformed grass grazing animals into plowing tools and engineer. So humans have made the bidding of nature where they have transformed every other thing into something different. So evolution of nature is happening because of us as mediums. So good or bad, for now it is not. We see some things, let's say industrial revolution, pollutions as bad right now. But at a later stage, maybe nature is developing into something unique. We yet are unable to see it. In the long run, nature anyway has a cutoff. Let's say global warming increases, then the snow caps will melt. Everyone will be submerged, and then new life forms will start. So in a way, nature has a cutoff and safe use. Until then, it allows for a nice free form of expansion. And nature doesn't only mean Earth's nature. There's a universal nature. We are sending rockets to universe. We don't know what is there in the mind of nature yet. Only seers will know. So all the big people are also working because they cannot get rid of the idea to work. And that attitude of work exists in the natural thought. You can't sit idly. That's what Krishna says. We want to sit idly on a hilly cave. We can't do that. So even those people who are meditating, the serious sages, not the bogus ones, they are not sitting ideally there. They are having so much plan of actions to be implemented in the world. Like all the Himalayan hierarchy, the Maitreya and the names I keep taking. They meet every year on my birthday on Vaishakapura. They meet in the Vaishaka Valley in the Himalayas, and then they discuss about the plan of action for the coming year. So then they mingle in the world like common man. We don't know. They will create the ideas of thoughts and everything. Some big shot person will get an idea because this common man has introduced that in their head. And that might be a seer. So they play a lot of role in the world events, which we can't recognize yet. In that way, they handle the events in the world. Yet again, like Krishna, they can't avoid, they can't stop anything. Krishna did not stop the war. They also cannot stop. They guide. That's all. So I found a new book also. Uh, Next after or Nahusha, once you get enough from Nahusha, I got Vidura Niti.
कौन सी नहीं?
Vidura Niti.
विदु ओ विदु
So Vidura Niti from Mahabharata. This is a dual language book. It's both in English and Telugu. Once after that, we can read something from there. I can scan it and send you. You can read it, Archit. You would like it. Where were we?
Even I
Nahusha.
have not reviewed it, but I remember कि युधिष्ठिर से initial conversation चल रहा था, and there was a cross questioning that was happening between both of them.
Yes.
ब्राह्मण क्या है उसके बारे
Brahman kya
में
hai? And what if the qualities are same qualities are in a Shudra?
yeah,
Will he be a Brahmin?
correct.
Okay. And also we heard Yudhishthira say that which is to be known. What is that? Going beyond the sukha and dukkha, etc. Okay. Evam vai sukha dukkhakyam heenamasti padam kvachat.
Excuse me.
His question. Nahusha's question is there here. Anyway, we will. So Nahusha is asking now. Yedite vruttato rajan brahmanah prasamikshitah vyarthajat jate stada ayushman prutiryavanna drishyate. So, Dharmaraja, you are saying that who is Brahmin is to be known by only the behavior of the person. If so, then why have they divided the Varnas based on the birth? What is the utility of it? Yeah, it vanishes, the cow. I thought you were holding an Olympic torch.
No, no, no. She came to meet you, Tejasvi.
Oh, hi. What is the name?
Name is yet to be decided because my wife is not able to decide one. Yeah, we
How
can
old?
continue.
3 months?
Not yet 3.
Nice. Which breed? Labrador?
No, I adopted. She's a indie.
Indie. Oh, very good, very good. You need to take care of vaccines and all.
Yeah,
Vet visits.
vaccination is booster is due on 1st of November. So
Dogs and cats. Long time friends of humans. Dogs are conducive for capturing inaudible frequencies in meditations. Cats are used to go psychologically deeper levels. Basically, cats' eyes are in sync with the moon phases. That is why you see whenever witchcraft is there in the western side, they have a cat. But in India, whenever we have Lord Shiva, we have a dog. Bhairava, it is also called dog. So both are in the positive way, both can be utilized in your meditation. They are good companion friends for your meditations.
अर्जित के लिए नेचर सब इंतजाम कर रही है अभी प्रोड्यूसिव थिंग्स
Soon we will see Archit in Himalayas. He's already planned.
she's from Himalayas, by the way.
You brought her from Himalayas, such a nice
Yeah.
place.
तो इसलिए वो स्पिरिचुअली रहेगी जरूर
She would have brought some nice vibes. Okay.
Yeah.
Then he's saying, then to decide by birth, it is a waste of time. Why have they spent so much eons of generations by deciding by time? When he is cross-questioning, saying, if you think you're so intelligent, saying that by behavior, if this is Brahmin and that is so and so, then what about all the legacy that we had till now? Are they all fools? Then Yudhishthira says, जातिरत्र महासर्प मनुष्यत्वे महामते संकरात् सर्ववर्णानां दुष्परीक्षेति ये मतिः. Hey Sarparaja, see, by birth things have been organized into the varnas because it is not possible for a king to each scrutinize every person's behavior. So first and foremost, it is on an average understood that 90 to 95% of people that are born will have the traits of their parents. Therefore, genetical division is the average and it's the most suitable. Now, if there is some altercations happening in between, let's say a person born to a Brahman wants to serve, or a person born to a Shudra wants to teach. Then on individual basis, upon the personal observation and requests of the guru and the parents, you can shift them later on. The king will do that ordinance. So this is why instead of looking at behavior, by birth it has been decided, but in actuality it is behavior that takes more predominance. But for an average sense, it is by birth that takes predominance. And this is the answer given by Yudhishthira. Okay, I'm summarizing and teaching, that's all. सर्वे सर्वा स्वपत्यानि जनयन्ति यदा नराः वाङ्मैथुनमथो जन्म मरणं च समं नृणाम्. Basically, why he says this is, you see, humans give birth to babies just like any other animal in the world, which means even though by birth, what he says, so getting a right partner, populating, getting the children, and growing, allowing them to grow, all these are common with most of the animal kingdom. There is nothing new happening. इदमार्षं प्रमाणं हि ये यजामः इत्यपि तस्माच्छीलं प्रधानेष्टं विदुर्युवे तत्त्वदर्शिनः. In the Vedas, we have a mantra called Ye Yajamahe, which is like a very important mantra. Whenever you do the yajna, they keep telling this, uttering, keep on uttering this. So it's a very important mantra in the Veda. Similar to that importance, if in this, because by birth everything is common in all the kingdoms, behavior is what determines how one is different from the other. It's not by birth. If you are saying by birth, isn't birth the same with then even animal kingdom should be divided into Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So what is different between the birth of animals and birth of humans? It is the behavioral pattern. Almost in an animal kingdom, one species behaves in a certain way. It is only humans where you see one species behave completely opposite way also. One destroys, one protects. One cheats, one doesn't. Yeah. One attacks, one doesn't attack. Therefore, it is the behavior that take predominance, not the birth, in terms of absolute understanding of what the varna is or the character of a person is. Next, prajnabhivardhanat panso जातकर्म विधेयते तत्रास्य मातौ सावित्री पिता त्वाचार्य उच्यते. Now this is important. Here we have a good discussion now. Every person when he is born, he will be done 16 samskaras. Have you ever heard of it? Shodasa samskaras, we say. We call it rite of passage. I'll tell you the words. 16 samskaras, if I remember correctly. First one is Garbhadana. Garbhadana means you are giving pregnancy. You are installing the life in the womb of a mother. That is called Garbhadana. This is the first samskara. See, whatever I am saying is ritualistically done first by the Vedic seers. Even that is why we have the muhurt, right? After marriage, for the wife and husband to be together, we put a muhurt. Is it there in North India also? Shobhan muhurt we call. For the first night, basically they have the. You are muted, Neeraj.
No such thing in North.
Here in the South, definitely. So for the first night that they are together, we have a muhurt, basically. The idea is that in the olden days, the moment you are married, your only purpose is to procreate. Otherwise, you don't meet. If you meet, it is for procreation. That was the original idea. And with that idea, a time timing and everything is needed so that the good progeny can be imbibed. Therefore, Garbhadana is one of the samskaras needed for us in order to install or invite the right soul into our family. Once Garbhadana is done, the first one, the second is called Pumsavana. Pumsavana means some people told this is the right perform to beget a boy child. If that were the case, then there won't be any woman seers in the Veda. There are like 40 women seers. If everyone, all the Vedic seers did only Pumsavana and got a male child, where are females? Where will procreation go? The moment Pum or Purusha comes, they think it is man. But Purusha means Jiva. So Pumsavana. Savana means movement. So Pumsavana is a rite performed at the end of second and beginning of third month when the fetus starts moving. So with our ritual, we install the dynamic element of energy to move. The fetus starts to move, and it's like the jolt that you give for the expansion of the life in it. That is called Pumsavana. Then we have Simantonnayana. None of these is performed there. What we call as bridal shower, right? In West. In the East, here we have Simantam. That means towards at the 7th month or just before pregnancy, you do something. I hope that is there all over India.
This is done in some places.
There, what they do, they basically from here using a darbha grass, they do like that. And then they start parting their hair. But instead of parting the hair, the actual thing is from the darbha with the mantras, basically from Agnya Chakra onwards, you go backward till the spine. You are installing the energy in the lady, which will transfer to the baby using the different mantras. That is symbolized as this parting of the hair, which is like the Ida side and the Pingala side and the Sushumna side, which you know by now because of the Tantra thing. So we are basically in the baby also, we are trying to install that Ida, Pingala and Sushumna work as it is so that all the chakras will run as intended by nature. If at all there are some deformities or anything, it will set right. That is the main purpose of Simantonnaya. After that comes Jata Karma. Jata Karma means they cut the umbilical cord. When we cut the umbilical cord, just before, the father places the hand on the child head and he utters some mantras. Those mantras are like Angad Angad Sambhavasi. That means there is a correspondence between my limbs and your limbs. Every organ, my organ to your organ. Basically, you are extension of me. Atma vai putra namase. I am being born as yourself. So in that extension, whether it be a girl or a boy, there is no difference for the mantras. So it's a jiva we are speaking here. So in that sense, the father installs his extension in the child in this jata karma. That means the continuity of lineage will happen. Not only continuity of lineage, our awareness of our Atma being, extended will also occur in both. Because when the child is born, father is also born. Because of the child, the father is born. In the Veda, it is told the father becomes the child and child becomes the father. It means he is giving birth to the father in a way. So he is the father of the father. You understand? The child is the biological son of the father, but metaphysically, child is father because of his birth. Now the father is born in
Other
us.
becomes.
The same thing can be with mother, basically parenting. That happens. This is Jata Karma where you have to utter like that. After that only you cut the umbilical cord. In this, Master Ike gave a beautiful lecture. There's a 2 hours lecture given in the West, where he points out during delivery time how the situation should be. Like some nice, pleasant music should be in the room 6 hours prior to delivery. If a child is born in a pleasant music, when the mother is hearing it, the child will have no diseases in his life, apparently. Music has a lot of effect on the health, it seems. If the mother is terrified at the time of delivery, the child is doomed to have all the diseases possible. That is what is happening nowadays. Hospitals, tension, sisters running here and there, doctors threatening us. Oh my God, that. Oh my God, this. Injections. And that in that environment, if a child is born, how will the effect be on the subtle body of the child? Mashnike, he told that he has done these experiments on 15 to 20 families that he already know. And he says that the people who are born in his time of lecture were already 30 years because he gave his lectures at 60 years of age. They're all healthy, apparently. So he was telling to the West how the things should be prenatal, basically prenatal care, what to be taken. And in that, he says this Jata Karma should be done at that time when the child is born, before cutting the umbilical cord. In fact, even before cutting umbilical cord, you actually put the honey and ghee in his mouth. Science also says that the newborns have the maximum amount of taste buds ready. Over a period of time, we reduce our taste buds and its capacity. So the honey, when it touches, all of their senses are suddenly awakened because the sweet thing, right? Madhu. And honey is a nectar of flowers. In those days, we used to get pure honey, not the dabur honey we are speaking here. The pure honey that comes from the real flowers and honeybees. One drop or 2 drops only. That will vitalize. Then he starts to cry to, express that he exists. And then we cut the umbilical cord after some time. Not as soon as he's born. Nowadays, they clip. Their work has to be done because doctors are so busy. But the child is just born. You don't cut the umbilical cord so fast. So these are the things to be done in Jata Karma.
So is this happening in South? Really happening, taking place?
Now, no one is doing this. No doctor allows it.
Huh.
It used to happen
Father
20
has
years
to be
back.
in labor room, but in West, I believe they allow fathers to be there.
Yes, I was there when Varali was born.
Arya.
Yeah. I only cut the
So
umbilical
you
cord.
did this? You did this?
Yes. In a way, I don't have any that things, no? So I cut the umbilical cord. I was in that moment. Then I forgot I have to put my hand and all. Then again, after 2 minutes, I put and then I uttered the mantras I knew. Yeah, I did that. In here, they won't allow. After why I'm telling all this is there's the Dharmaraja is right now saying when the child is born, before you cut the umbilical cord, you do Jata Karma. Right? Then for him, father is the guru and Savitri is the mother, he says. Dharmaraja. To make you understand that, first I'm trying to let you know what the samskaras are. And Arjun should know these things as a core Indian philosophy seeker. Most of us don't even know that these are there in our lifestyle nowadays. We have few of this. Now, Namakarana. Namakarana is there for you, right? Where you name a baby. That is there. So some we are having, some we don't because of the time. And there is no belief system to name a child with the stars letters or that. That is very new, modern one. In ancient days, they used to name based on their gurus or their forefathers or some devatas or nature, something like that. There's no compulsion in the past to name your letter name should start with a na, end with a. There is no compulsion like that. Or we were more talented. Whatever we want the child to become, we used to name them. No, I named my baby Krishna Ravinda. I didn't look for star name, nothing I looked. So two of my gurus, Krishnamacharya and Aurobindo, that's all I want. Next, baby is first outgoing. Once the baby is born, after a few days, you have to take him into the first moonlight, not sunlight. So you first make him into the moonlight and again after a few days into sunlight. So the reason is moonlight is first pleasant. So in that pleasantness, moon is father of the body basically. Moon is symbolical to the body. Sun is symbolical to the soul. So here first we nourish the body and then ignite the spark of sun inside the baby. This is called Nishkramana. Means you go into the moon and then into the sun. After that, Anna Prashna. Prashna or Prashna. Anna Prashna, Ashana means to eat. Anna means grain. In North, what do they do? I always had this doubt. They can't feed roti. What do? Rice only they feed?
Kheer.
Ghee. Kheer. Rice only, right?
Rice.
Ah.
Milk.
Because in South, staple food is rice, so they feed rice. I was thinking in North, do they like roti ko दूध में भिगा के खिलाते हैं? नहीं ना?
Rice cooked with
Rice
milk.
को ही खिलाते हैं. Yes. Here also we do like this is around 6 months solid food introduction. So fortunately, we don't need doctors to say all these things. There you need counseling in the West. Doctors call you, they say all these things. We know. Then you have Chudakaran, the tonsuring of the head. Many Westerns used to ask, why do you shave your head? I asked them, show me one of your 70-year-old person with full hair on their head. Go to India and you see the people at 70 years of age with full hair on their head without baldness. Because they had all these rights in the young age. There might not be any scientific evidence because their sample space is not Indians. Their sample space is their own people. When they come and do sample spacing in our country, they will have the understanding. So Chudakarana, basically there are two things. The reason that why we remove hair is, first of all, this hair was soaked in the amniotic fluid. And hair is always, we say, Yama lives in hair. Yama is basically a lot of limitation. Therefore, when you cut your hair, your limitation is expanded. So fresh hair, fresh Yama, again restart of new limitations start. We also feel like that. When your hair is big, I don't know about how Sardarjis are maintaining hair, so we should applaud them. I feel very happy when hair is less, personally. I don't know about others. Sardarjis, maybe that's how the Sikh has designed that to, overcome even that slight discomfort. You have to overcome with your mind. Maybe. That's quite opposite to Brahmins, right? They have very only small tuft of hair on their heads. They're peaceful, happily. They have full free. It is said that hair takes away a lot of energy. So when you cut your hair, you are more sharp. That is why the students, they all have only small hair because they have to remember so much. So all the remembering capacity of the 10,000 mantras from forward, backward, everything is happening because they have very little hair on the head. That is Chudakarana. Next, baby's earlobe piercing. Karna Vedha, we said. Karna Veda has another alternative therapy purpose. Ear, in acupressure, ear is considered to be an inverted baby. If you see, like this part of the ear is like the head and the baby is curling its feet upward. I will show you that image, then it will get more. Something like this. You see that? That image?
Yes.
This. So it's like inverted baby. So when you pierce the ear, you are basically igniting the cerebral regions of your brain. That means your Agnya chakra and Sahasrara chakras. So ear piercing and maintaining gold or pure element there. If you actually see, if you remove the ear piercing, ear will heal. But if there is a ring, it will never heal. Like the hole is not full. But you can, if you remove the ear ring, it automatically closes the hole. Which means it is forever trying to close the hole and experiencing something in that hole, always the ear. So this is what we are sending the signals somehow, I think, to using acupressure that to become sharp in the head. We always have intellectual sharpness as our goal. So Karna Veda is for that purpose. After Karna Veda, and also they say, because of the Karna Veda, now that injections, etc., have come, okay, immunity is already developed by the body. In those days, there were no injections. And when you do the Karna Veda, there is a first piercing to the body, so the body reacts. And in that reaction, immunity also develops because it's a piercing happening in them. So it's an immunity booster also, Karna Veda. After that, we have Vidyarambha, around 5 years of age. That is when we say Vidyarambha or Aksharabhyasa. We start the education for the kids. Then we have Upanayana, the ceremony where you take the child to a guru or you initiate the child into the light of Gayatri. This light of Gayatri is also known as Savitri. So Savitri and Satyavan story. Satyavan is the eternal truth or the sun god. Savitri is the daylight. Lord Yama is the night. It is the cyclic story of night engulfing day and day overcoming night. Okay. This is what Aurobindo wrote in his 25,000 lines poem called Savitri. This story he expanded. Like ultimate secrets are there in that book. He wrote it for 35 years. As and when his spiritual evolution happened, he changed the course of the poem. He corrected everything he wrote till now, and then he wrote little more. So by the end of Savitri writing, he says, this is the ultimate expression of what I have realized about God. Master K says it is a new Veda in the modern era. It is a Vedic, it's as important as a Vedic scripture. The book written by Savitri, by Aurobindo. After that, you have Vivaha, Samavartana and Vivaha. After Gurukula, basically you convocate. After convocation, the Vivaha happens. After Vivaha, the only samskara left is death. That you did, it's not performed on you. After you go, it is performed. These are the 16 samskaras, Shodas samskaras we have. Now coming to Dharmaraja, he's saying, for the baby that is born, usually you do Jatakarma before you cut the umbilical cord. The father is actual father, okay, but the mother is Savitri. Which means, where is it? The father has father here would imply sometimes both parents. The biological parents are only his physical parents. And then they are his guru in a way, they will guide. But the light in him that makes him grow is the light of Savitri. Savitri, as I said, is the light of Buddhi or the intelligence or the cosmic intelligence. Now he says, Tavat Chudra Samo Hesha Yava Dvede na Jayate Asminnevam Matitvaidhe Manuhu Swayambhuvo Bravid. Now he is saying very important statement. The person who is born and is not introduced into the Veda, which means when is the person introduced into the Veda in all our samskaras? In the Upanayana stage. Only after you get the sacred thread, you are eligible for the reading Veda. That means up to 7 years of age, before you go to Gurukula, you are a Shudra. That is what the Dharmaraja is saying. So all the babies till their 7th year of age is termed Shudra, and this is what Manu has said, is what he is quoting. Dharmaraja. He is giving references of Manu about the Manu Dharma Shastra. What does that mean? It means there are, as I told last time, there are two utilities of the names, the word Shudra, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya. One, in terms of character as to serve, to protect, to teach, and to distribute, etc. Another one is the good and bad quality. The word Shudra is also used in a way to point those people who did not read the Veda or who do not know the things, but who are dependent on others to know certain things. Similarly, all others except the Brahmins. And Brahmins are dependent on others in terms of action, but not knowledge. You see? So Brahmins, in a way, according to the olden terminology, are okay with knowledge, not okay with action. Others are okay with action, but not okay with knowledge. So that is a symbiotic relation that's happening. So here he says the youngsters that are born are no matter which family he is born. There's a third category of division he is giving. First, he gave by character, we say they are Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Second, he says by birth, average. Now he says different phases of life. Before entering into the Veda, you are a Shudra. That means most of us in current world who did not read the Veda are all in the Shudra state. It's not about good and bad. That's a terminology we are using a different context. कृतकृत्याः पुनर्वर्णा यदि वृत्तं न विद्यते शङ्करस्तत्र नागेन्द्रबलवान् प्रसमीक्षितः. He says, okay, he explained. Basically, he's giving the hints of different categorization. Now he tells, oh, the serpent king, if we put rigidity on the Varna system, that means this person has to be this because of this rule or this rule or this rule. Then things will get rigid, they become personal boundaries will happen, and then clashes will occur. Is that not what is happening nowadays in the name of reservations, castes, and all other things? Because we have become rigid and personal boundaries have been put, there is no trespassing happening. We want equality, but we don't marry one caste into the other. There will always be fightings. So this rigidity occurs and society will go into chaos. This is what Dharmaraja is suggesting. यत्रेदानीं महासर्पः संस्कृतं वृत्तमिष्यते तं ब्राह्मणमहं पूर्वम् उक्तवान् भुजगोत्तमः. Okay. Shrutam vidita vi. And again, he's concluding that therefore, instead of rigidifying based on culture, based on region, based on families and all, my take is that look at, if at all, whenever you get a doubt, even though people say he's of certain varna, go to his character, based on his character, just realize what character, what varna he is in. Don't go to any other opinions. And finally, he concludes. Basically, he gave a whole theory till then prevalent in those days. What all categorizations are there? What kinds of categorizations are there? And then he says, finally, this is my belief system. Any doubt till here, Arjun?
No doubt.
Then Nahusha is asking, Shrutam vidita vedyasya tava vakyam yudhishthira bhaksha yeya maham kasmat bhrataram te vrukodaram. He's saying, now I understood that you have understood everything that is there in this world. I agree with you. Even though I questioned you, it is only to see how much deep you know about certain things. If you are so pious, how will I eat your brother? In a way, like your brother must also be so valorous as you, so I won't eat indirectly. भवानेतादृशो लोके वेद वेदांगपारगः ब्रूहि किं कुर्वतः कर्म भवेद् गतिरनुत्तमा. Now Dharmaraja is saying, you yourself, by the way you have asking questions, I know you are cross questioning me. I know how intelligent you are, better than me intellectually. So tell me one thing. This is important. I don't know how the answer is going to be. The question is important. By doing what action or set of actions will man attain salvation or the ultimate goal in life? What is the purpose and procedure to live in this life? This is the question Dharmaraja asked Nahusha, right? It's very interesting if you observe. Nahusha said, I won't eat your brother, indirectly, right? Then why did Dharmaraja just say, okay, give me my brother and we'll go? Why is he still extending that conversation? Their Bhima is already in a tight grip. Interestingly, when big people act, they know their actions will be recorded. For the benefit of others, they extend certain discussions. For example, Rama and Sita. Why did Rama had to ask Sita to do the Agni Pravesha? He knows the purity of Sita. The people standing around him knows the purity of Sita. When they go back to Ayodhya, he knows no one will question him because he is the king and he has been a Dharma king. They want their Sita back. And they don't even actually know what happened to Sita unless these guys told them. They could have just told, we did the Vanvasa and came back. The reason is he knows someone else will record them. That means in those days also there were spy drones. Those spy drones are the minds of the seers. Valmiki saw through the Duradrushti only, no? So when people record, their actions should exemplify and help other people. Now, in his case, in the Ramayana case, very debatable topic, people think. Remember, Rama did not ask her to do the Agni Pravesha. Rama said, now my duty as a husband to protect you from the clutches of Ravana is over. But as a duty of the king to the nation, I cannot beget you as my wife because you are in elsewhere, in someone else's house. The norms would not accept. So you go your way, I will go my way from here on. If you want, I'll give you a lift, drop you somewhere, and we are done for the ways. But he told that with a heavy tone. That's what you will see in the Valmiki Ramayana. Then the Sita cross questions him, and then she points out everything, and then she says, okay, I am going to the Agni, the original place from which I have come from, and then she enters. But then again she comes back because Agni Deva brings her. So there is no role of Rama to push her away. The role of Rama, not as a husband, he was thinking as a king and the rules that the king has to obey in those days. The rules for the king are not for the common man. We should not say ki Rama did that, so we will also do the same thing. Sita did that, we will also do the same thing. Remember, they were in the position of queen and king. Here, the position is of a common man. We are thinking. We should not imbibe everything that they have done. But we have to understand from their actions what is the purpose. So, from Sita's action, the purpose was the Panchabhutas. The Agni, one of the, we also call him Pavaka, the one who purifies. The Lord of Purity himself is saying she is pure, then there is no question in the world. Then you might ask me, what about that Uttara Ramacharita, where people question, right? The butler questions, and then Rama leaves Sita in the forest and come. Do you know this story? Where Lava and Kusha are born. Actually, that story, in my understanding of what Master Tika has taught, is not the actual Ramayana. It is an appendix created by someone else. Okay? Therefore, we can't take it as a promise, pramana for the Ramayana. Ramayana ends by the coronation of Rama. That's all. Many years back. Okay. So, for the question, for exemplifying certain things, these people ask. It's not like Dharmaraja doesn't know. In certain way, he knows everything. Yet he asks because everyone else surrounding should know. This is the reason always. In Master Ike's Music of Soul, there's a novel, okay? Very beautiful lines are there in that. I will show you.
I have a question,
Ask.
couple of questions on this. तो एक तो कि महाभारत में, और मुझे नहीं पता एक्चुअल महाभारत में क्या है, तो प्लीज हेल्प मी उसके लिए
Yes,
बेसिकली,
yes.
बट जो देखा है उसमें टीवी में, उसमें होता है कि कर्ण को बोलते हैं कि आप सूत पुत्रो, एंड
Sutaputra,
देन दे
yeah.
डोंट ट्रीट हिम इक्वल इन लॉट ऑफ
Equally. Yes.
वेस, और उसको दुर्योधन फिर अपना अंग का वो देता है, एंड देन उसको थोड़ी क्रेडिबिलिटी देता है. सिमिलरली जो एकलव्य होता है, एकलव्य को ये वहां पे
तंब ले लेता है.
काम ले लेते हैं, और उसको आई थिंक ही इज नॉट एबल टू स्टडी वहां पे, ऑल्दो उसकी जो पर्सनैलिटी होती है, जो स्किल्स होती हैं, वो एक क्षत्रिय की होती हैं. तो जब युधिष्ठिर इज knows all these things and he's the eldest in this case, why not also implement these behaviors in the people around him? And राम वाले में मेरा ये है कि
ना पहला ये, उसके बाद राम. Otherwise,
ठीक है.
I'll get.
Yeah, let's first focus on this.
Now, in this, you see, let's come to Eklavya.
Hmm.
We are common man. Let's say I'm a physicist. I know about quantum physics and everything. I go to, let's say, NASA, and I ask them, give me controls of all the satellite. I will try to control because I know everything. I have read the manual. Will they give me? Unless they select me, will they give me? Forget about NASA. This is mostly about Astra and Shastras, which are like atom bombs. Defense atom bomb keys are there, right? The controls. With whom are they? Every soldier is eligible to fire that because they got the training. But will the keys of handling the weapons be with the soldier, or will it be with the captain or the highest official?
So I have a thought on this.
Yes.
So for example, if NASA की हम बात करते हैं कि किसके पास है, that is based on merit.
No,
It is
it's not
not
based on
based
merit
on
alone.
birth.
It's not based on merit alone. Ha ha. What do you know about Eklavya? Tell me. In Mahabharata, what do you know about Eklavya from the TV serials?
What I know is कि he was not from मतलब royal family नहीं था.
But वो अच्छा था क्या?
द्रोणा
नहीं,
नहीं,
एकलव्य
that I
अच्छा
don't know.
बंदा था क्या?
That I don't know.
I will tell you about the true nature of
Hmm.
Eklavya.
नहीं, but
Eklavya,
before that also, is it because his personality was not up to
no,
the mark कि वो द्रोणा उसको सिखा पाए?
his trait is of evil nature. इसीलिए एक द्रोणाचार्य foresaw what he could have done. Okay, and then he limits that. The reason, that's what I'm saying. It is like he's like a cancerous cell. Unless you cut it at the tumor stage, it will go into a cancer. The Ekalavya's true nature is that, see, that is why cinema and TVs have polluted Mahabharata like up and down. You go to Vyasa Bharata, I will tell you. If it were Arjuna in Ekalavya's place, what he would have done, you will see. Basically, when Drona was training and all, Drona released a hunting dog. And they wanted the students to follow it and find the prey. Ekalavya shoots the hunting dog. Okay, he kills it. Why? Ekalavya was not only from royal family about that. He is a tribal. वो ट्राइबल था. एंड इन द ट्राइबल ही वाज अ हंटर. वो जानवर को मार मार के खा के ही इज दैट काइंड ऑफ अ पर्सनालिटी. बट he heard about Drona, therefore he put the rupa of the Drona and he was practicing. In those days, the niyamas were there that if you are a tribal, let's say, तेरे को एक ही kind of wisdom मिलेगा, बाकी नहीं मिल सकता है. Like, if I am soldier, I get certain instructions of army, fight. If I am navy or jet fighter, I'll get certain set of instructions. Just because I'm in military, I don't know everything. I'm not eligible for all that. Forget about birth, forget about merit. All the soldiers join with the same exam. But based on what category they are putting, this guy by birth and by traits or by the social norms, he was put in the forest in those days. Let us imagine, by mistake, he was put, maybe he's so good. If he was a good person, why will he kill an animal that is a hunting dog, which he knew will be from Drona? Because he was closely observing everyone there. He wanted to show off his talents. He could have surrounded it with arrows and stopped it, but he killed it. This is the subtle thing that Drona observed, that he has a killing nature by heart. If Arjuna was there in his shoes, he would have stopped the animal and showcased his talent, not killed unnecessarily.
महाभारत में आई थिंक जो टीवी में दिखाते हैं
वो
दैट ही
टीवी का
filled the
नहीं देख,
mouth with arrows without even hurting the dog,
nothing got
and he
ये
couldn't
नहीं
stop
नहीं he
even bark.
killed without hurting. Let us
विदाउट
still
हर्टिंग
they,
कैसे?
no
नहीं
no let us
पॉसिबल.
ask the director and pierce the arrows in his mouth and say I'm doing without hurt only, we'll say to him. Which animal will get not hurt by filling the mouth with arrows? Which animal? Tell me. That's a nonsense. And so this is the reason why. Second thing is, Drona sees the idol of him. He asks, "Who is your guru?" He shows him the idol. Drona says, "It's like whatever nowadays, whatever in the WhatsApp we say, NASA has said, NASA has said, NASA has said, right? Like that, whatever Ekalavya does, he keeps saying, my guru has said, my guru has said, my guru has said. Who will be ill-famed? Drona, right? Drona also saw that this guy is going to make me blame for the world. Give me your thumb first. Because you did not give Guru Dakshina and you say I am your Guru. First of all, that is not correct. Therefore, give me your thumb so that. But after giving his thumb, do you know what Drona did? Did they showcase in your TV serials? Drona gave him the art of shooting arrows with the two fingers without use of thumb. He gave everything again. But he did not give him the Shastras or those which have mantra eligibility because he was not in the Upanayana stage. So he's not eligible for the mantras. But Astras he has. I think the other one, Shastras he gave, Astras he did not give. He bestowed it because he was impressed by the talent. But because of the evil nature, he cut where things can, die out. This they don't show in the TV serials. Now we think Arjuna is villain and Drona is villain. That's wrong. That is not at all there in the Mahabharata. Now let us come to the Karna and the story where Duryodhana gives. It was actually right. When a wrestling match is happening on a stage, if I go and then say I have muscles and six pack, I will fight. Can I just join any match like that? You have to give your name first. Applications are there, scrutiny is there, tests are done. Then you are allowed to into the arena. That was a battle arena. Whoever comes and says I will defeat this guy, how will they allow? First of all, that's the first thing. Secondary, it was a royal match. Like royal weddings, it was a royal match between royal families. Any common man is not allowed. Even we don't allow any side person in our own family function, let alone we are blaming Pandavas and Kauravas there. Third, the moment Karna said, I am a Sutaputra, that means the driver's son, but he said, I will be able to defeat. Duryodhana was so anxious that he gave his Angarajya, right? That shows the evil nature of Duryodhana because he, no matter what, he wants to defeat, even though it was out of the box in those days. How can you just give? So, don't you judge the eligibility of a person before giving? All the eligibility that Duryodhana saw was he can defeat Arjuna, not where can he rule the people. Now you tell me, why will Dharmaraja support Duryodhana if Duryodhana is saying without any tests, I just want this person because basically I'm a DGP, what is that? I'm a police recruiter. I want a person in my committee because he can do my bidding everywhere. Is that why I choose someone? Or should I choose someone that he can help people? Now you tell me if Dharmaraja's non-opposition is evil or good. There is no
I,
scrutiny. It was moments. Only statement was that I can defeat Arjuna, he said. Then he gave Artharajya. What nonsense is that? People should suffer for him.
no, so I think मेरा point ये नहीं था कि दुर्योधन is right in
Ah,
this. I
your
am
point
saying कि
was?
as धर्मराजा, जहाँ पे आप अपने लिए स्टैंडर्ड्स सेट करते हो और आप यू नो ऑल दीज थिंग्स, ठीक है, रॉयल मैच था, नहीं जाना, मतलब मुझे जितना पता है मैं उसके बारे में कमेंट कर सकता हूँ कि रॉयल मैच था, नहीं करना चाहिए जो भी कुछ है, बट
Also,
यू
my bad. 1
आजकल
minute.
के स्टैंडर्ड्स में
Ah,
यू आर
tell
मेकिंग
I.
दिस स्टेटमेंट एंड यू आर पुटिंग समवन डाउन बिकॉज ऑफ द बर्थ, कि वो कहाँ से आया है, चाहे वो प्लेस उसका गलत हो, मतलब वो उस जगह पे ना हो, बट इफ somebody is within his family, somebody is saying कि सूत पुत्र है and you're not allowed over here, मतलब
It is like saying,
आजकल
see,
के स्टैंडर्ड में आई थिंक
आजकल की standard is all illusion. You go into a military destined canteen, let's say, only if you're from our military destined shops. Only if you are a military person's family, you're allowed there. Is that not birth oriented reservation?
It's not birth oriented, na?
It is birth oriented. If you're a military person only, you will get those perks. If you're not military person, I want that perks. Why will you get, let's say, Z category? Okay. You have your wife, your husband is chief minister. Huh? Will your wife get, I mean, if you are a wife of a chief minister, will the wife of a chief minister get Z category protection or not? Is that not relation oriented protection you are getting?
But
Tell
कोई
me, is chief minister important or chief minister wife is important for us? If you say person, if power, they are protecting the power, then they should protect chief minister. But the moment a wife comes, chief minister has no wife. Person called whoever is in the position of chief minister has wife or children, but they are also getting all the protection. That is also birth oriented.
what was the intent? Was the intent to show that you are from a low background and that's why you're not eligible? Or was the intent to say कि there are certain rules and because of these rules you will not be able to participate in this? मतलब अगर आप किसी को,
Oh,
there
it
are two
was
ways
only
to
rules.
see this.
It was only rules. If that were the case, let us say that were the case, tell me now all the Vanavasa they did. How did they live with all the so-called low-class people according to them? Huh? Huh? In their Vanavasa, they will be like, oh my God, these people are so low-class. I don't want to touch them. Did they do that? Bhima even went to fight with Bakasura to protect a simple Brahmin kid instead of dying. Even if he dies, he doesn't get, he went to fight. For such mentality of Pandavas, your TV is putting the taint of showing that they denied Karna because he was low class. The intent is in the director, not in the Vyasa's Mahabharata. You need to observe the character of Pandavas from all round development, not from one angle. And let me say another thing that you even forgot. This is showcase of talent only. There is no war there. Duryodhana converted into war when he was fighting with Bhima. When he was showcasing talent, he suddenly hit Bhima. Bhima defended. Then that started into a war. Then the army started to fight, but armies fell down. Then Karna came. So, what was the occasion? What did Duryodhana made it into? So, all this point must be taken care of. That is why Dharmaraja or those people point at the legal points there, not social points, legal points. That is why I'm saying my questions of military and all this are coming because of eligibility criteria, not low class or high class. Once you're in the military, it doesn't matter whether you're low class or high class. Okay. For that matter, Vidura was of low class only, no? From a Shudra Stree, he was born. But he was given the kingdom. He is also one of the kings and ministers. So there was nothing about low class, high class there. It's all about eligibility. And Vidura's teachings are considered more pious, is it not? In fact, Duryodhana is a royal origin, Vidura is a non-royal origin, but Vidura has a lot of wisdom than this guy, and Vidura's teachings are heard by everyone. So there is nothing about low class and high class in Mahabharata. That's wrong in intents. We are looking Mahabharata from our lens at this moment of time, which is very bad. We should bring their lens and look this society from their lens. Then we'll understand Mahabharata perfectly. Okay?
Yeah.
Now about Ramayana, you are asking.
Yeah. रामायण में मेरा था कि what we're saying कि Ram had to do this because he was a king. But when you're a king, you also have power to change what should be the norm going forward.
No.
मतलब
There was Sanatana Dharma. That means what Manu and Ikshvaku have said, those rules they are following. We all follow. And the rules are not for momentary stage changes. We all follow certain norms for certain things, which you may not see right now. On the long run, they always benefit. And Ikshvaku is basically the lord of the earth. Manu is lord of solar system. They have set certain norms for the human kingdom. Those are the things that they will be following. That's why in Rama's statements also you will be seeing quotations from the higher authorities. And he himself is not only a king. King was a servant in a way. He lived for the sake of people. He never enjoyed any perks as a king. So even though he has power to change, he never changes. That's what God has power to change everything, but God doesn't change a single thing. Just like Krishna has power to eliminate the war, but he doesn't do that. That's not in the plan of him. Why? Only he knows. That one question we can't answer. We have to accept it and move forward.
Yeah.
But he has power to influence. He tried to influence. But his Maya is more powerful than him and the Duryodhana. He couldn't get swayed.
Yeah.
In fact, you actually read Mahabharata. Uh, did you know the vices of Duryodhana? He pushed Bhima into the. He poisoned Bhima when he was only 14 years of age, when they were in the camp. And then he pushes him into the ocean. In the ocean, he goes to Nagaloka. Luckily, Bhima was born because of a certain boon, whose relative is in the Nagaloka, Takshaka, someone, his ancestor. That person saves him and then gives him all the boon of 1,000 elephant strength. So all this happened. That is how we know even at a younger stage, Duryodhana was so evil. Imagine him giving
तो
Rajya to Karna.
ये
And
वाला एक
what
बार फिर से बताइए, भीम के जन्म का नहीं मालूम।
हाँ भीम का जन्म का नहीं भीम का क्या हुआ they were in the teenage the Kauravas and Pandavas they were playing in beach from then only Duryodhana was very jealous of Bhima's strength because whichever game they play Bhima was hitting and everyone is flying away. So what happened, he called everyone to a feast. Duryodhana only served with a lot of love and everything. Every Pandava was like, suddenly what is this change in Duryodhana, what is happening? And for Bhima, especially, he was pouring many things. Bhima was happily eating, but he mixed poison in it. So finally, Bhima gets tipsy and all. He asks his Batus to throw Bhima into the ocean so that no one can see the lake, river, or ocean. I forgot. He goes underneath, and finally enters Nagaloka. So, in fact, many snakes are trying to come and bite him. What did Bhima do? Even in his poisoned. Sorry. When the snakes bit him, there are two kinds of snakes apparently. The snake poison that that Duryodhana gave, for it, the snake bite in the Nagaloka became an antidote. So that cancels out. सुन रहे हो मीरा जी? So the snake bite in the Nagaloka became antidote for the poison. He lives. Then he catches all the snakes with his hands and he squeezes. Then they'll call for him for their king. Then the Naga king comes. Then he says, "Hey Mahaprabhu, who are you? Why are you in our land? Why are you crushing our snakes? And then we will for now restrict you." And then he calls the council to understand what to do with this guy. No human has ever entered our kingdom. What does our ancient laws say? Then one of the relatives comes and says, "ये हमारा ही बंदा है, छोड़ दो." And then he says,
सर ये लोग पांडव जहाँ पे रहते थे वहाँ समुद्र थोड़ी था,
"रिवर या लेक था, रिवर या लेक था, कुछ तो था,
अच्छा,
हाँ कुछ तो था, वाटर बॉडी था जिसमें नागलोक
भीम को
रहता
डुबाने
है,
के लिए भी बड़ी जगह चाहिए।
बड़ी जगह चाहिए." And he gives him the strength of 1,000 elephants as a boon, extra boon because he suffered because of the snakes there.
नागराज
That became later on the Bhima's. So what Duryodhana thought, it became quite opposite. And you see how the things are. At that time, Arjuna goes and says to Dhritarashtra that, not Dhritarashtra, Dharmaraja, that so and so thing happened. We can't see Bhima. He says, "Shh, don't tell everyone. We'll try to find him silently." Why? Dharmaraja never wanted war between the two people. Because if he knew that something happened, it would be because of Duryodhana only, because that's the only odd thing that happened on that day. Then he could have told and then fighting would have started. But he never wanted fights. He always wanted to get things done peacefully. Kunti knows. Then Kunti goes to Vidura. Vidura says, "I believe nothing happened based on my intuition to Bhima. Bhima is by birth, is a divine birth. Nothing will happen. Let's wait for a few days." Then he comes in 7 days' time. Bhima comes back and everything. And Duryodhana will be like, "What?" And he was just a teenager, not even 10 to 12 years, I think. Imagine the evil thoughts in kids. Now we speak about evil thoughts in kids. In those days only we have. So Duryodhanas are there everywhere. Just because someone is kid, that doesn't mean he is all good. It is how you bring them and, tailor them. If Dhritarashtra curbed his things at that age itself, he would have not grown into like that. Once what happens? After this you told na Karna's entry. At that time, Duryodhana goes to Dhritarashtra and says, "See, everyone is praising your other son, Dharmaraja. I am so jealous. Between you and me, I really want to kill them." What Dhritarashtra says, you have spoken exactly what I was thinking in my heart. If father is like that, tell me how will son become? What should father have told? No, no, that's wrong to think. Go and serve under him. You will get a lesson. No. He told you exactly spoke whatever was in my heart. That means both are like jigri jangri. They are up to one and the same entities. The main villain is not Duryodhana. The main villain is Dhritarashtra in the Mahabharata. He's a silent villain. For external sake, he's very, peace. Basically, he's like the modern, what do you call? The fake Baba. All the fake Baba's behavior he used to depict. But inside, he was full of. The Mahabharata is in the TV series, they show Dhritarashtra as an innocent guy, blind person doing like this. But he's not blind for every other. He's blind only to the script. Every other thing, he's not blind at all. Anyway, so Mahabharata is a beauty in its structure. Next class, we meet again and we'll continue.
Yeah.
We did not do Shanti Pata, so we'll start and end with it. Om Shanno Prashna Varuna Shanno Valatpariyama Shanna Indro Brahaspati Shanno Vishnu Nukramah Namo Brahmane Namaste Vaya Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Rutam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanno Navatu Tattvattaramavatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vattaram Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We shall meet next week. Remind me next week to read that passage from Music of Soul, Master Case. How Lord Krishna and Maitreya interacted, and in his interaction, how Lord Krishna replies. That has a very nice beauty to it. And we'll read that next week.
See you. Bye.